couple of weeks ago, I was out on my usual search routine for games similar to one of my all-time favorite games called Urban Chaos, an open-world third-person beat-em-up with a cool, sassy protagonist on an adventure to liberate the city of a violent gang called the Wildcats. While going through the good old games page for Urban Chaos, I discovered a title that immediately caught my attention. Omikron, the Nomad Soul. I have never heard of the title before, but the name Omikron should sound familiar to all of us. 1, because it's the 15th letter of the Greek alphabet, and 2, because it is all over the media. I got curious and checked out Twitter, and of course the game experienced a huge resurgence, connecting it to some really interesting conspiracy theories. Some people were even connecting it to Bill Gates, saying that he released the game 23 years ago as a sick joke or something, and their proof is the game runs on Windows, and Windows is developed by Microsoft, and Bill Gates was the CEO of Microsoft. I'm Dr. Sledgehammer, by the way. Now granted, the game's plot does support some of the more popular conspiracy theories out there, like that of the lizard people, for example, the Great Reset, or the takeover by a powerful AI system that learns our deepest secrets and governs us against our will. But let's face it, the plot is similar to so many other games out there. Take Beyond Good and Evil, for example. Similar plot, but a much cuter game. Anyway, without further ado, let's explore this game together, shall we? For starters, let's clear something up. I found absolutely no evidence supporting Bill Gates being involved in this project in any capacity, as the game was written and directed by a former musician called David Cage, who was seeking a new career path in the gaming industry. Today you may know him for producing video games that play like interactive movies. A big mistake in my opinion. I mean, they are good games, but pale in comparison to Omikron. To begin our story, we must first understand the circumstances under which the city Omikron came to be. Omikron is one of the last 5 cities on the planet Phenom, in the Primate Systemis. In the year 3757, the sun of the Primate Systemis began to fade away, ushering in an ice age on Phenom. First, the people of Phenom started building crystal domes around their cities, creating an artificial habitat in which mankind can survive, which is all well and good, but then each city started building its own ecosystem, creating 5 unique cities with different governing bodies and different cultures. Around 4987, the people of Omikron went super insane, as they thought it would be a really smart idea to manufacture a powerful, self-sustaining supercomputer named X to govern over Omikron. X is the all-seeing eye, spying on its people using cameras and communication devices. X facilitated wonderful, innovative ideas like cutting the ties with the other 4 cities or dividing Omikron into 4 sections and creating cultural barriers between these sections. X's word is absolute. He rules the city as a godlike entity that is deeply involved in the life of every individual living in Omikron, as X determines what profession each individual will learn from the day they are born, so they can be educated accordingly. X will also decide with whom each individual mates, and the citizens have no problem with that, as they have relinquished their free will. They just believe X knows best. In 5726, a birth quota was introduced to control the population of Omikron. Married couples must give birth to 1 child by the age of 30 and the second child by the age of 35. After that, they are both castrated. X does not allow its citizens to foul-mouth governing bodies and will shield the population of Omikron from dangerous misinformation. People who disobey the law get recycled. That is, they get their memories wiped clean so they can be repurposed for another task. After all, why waste an able vessel?
Hello?
Hi, yeah.
Our story takes place in the year 7216. I'm sitting here in my living room enjoying a reasonable amount of pornographic material when suddenly...
What the fuck?
My name is Kale. I have many things to tell you, and very little time.
No, hold on, dude. What the fuck is going on?
My world needs your help.
So, why the fuck would I care?
You must transfer your soul into my body.
Is this some weird fetish porn I'm watching right now?
I knew I could count on you.
What? No, hold on, buddy. No! Oh, my hair! Where am I? Let's find the next tuna kebab. Hi, I'm Dr. Sledgehammer. Let's talk about this.
You have been the victim of a violent attack. Go home, eat, and rehydrate yourself.
Oh gee, thanks. Well, welcome to Omikron, a city that is separated into 5 different sections. There are no parks, no roller coaster rides, no perspective in life, and very boring, depressing people. Nothing fun to do here except for booze and hookers. Citizens generally require a pass to move between sections, otherwise... Whoa, yeah, well, anyway, in order to make sense of this mess, we need to go to Cal's apartment, and it just so happens that the game will provide you with self-driving cars that will let you fast travel to specific areas. Wow, look at this place. Cal is fucking loaded, man. He even got a lizard in a fish tank. Wait, why would you want a pet like that? Who does that? As you can imagine, our job is to gather as much information on Cal as we can in order to move the plot along. Cal's apartment contains puzzles that you need to solve in order to continue. Take this key inside the fish tank, for example. If we give Brandon over here his favorite snack, he will get us the key. I fucking hate you. Go away. There is also a save point and food in the kitchen, and also...
Oh, Cal, I thought I'd never see you again. Where have you been?
I fucking did it, lads! I'm fucking Cal's wife! Score! Talis is an interesting and intelligent woman. I chose to pretend that I have amnesia. She instantly believed me. By the way, what the fuck is she doing with her hands? We are currently talking about my recent investigations. See, Cal used to be some sort of detective. His partner seems to have been killed around the same time Cal invaded my apartment. So my job is to find out what happened to him, but I'm slowly getting the feeling that I am treading on thin ice, like I'm fucking with the wrong people. And the ambient music in the game enhances this feeling. It is extremely uncomfortable. As I travel around town reading documents and questioning people, I get back to the point where Cal left off his investigations, and I start triggering events that move the plot along. By the way, this dude seriously gave me his master key in exchange for the poster of a porn star. A lopsided trade because this master key can be used to open up almost every door in the building. Yeah, anyway, as I was leaving Talis to get back to work, I was ordered to save this supermarket from a robbery. About time I see some action. Time to earn some recognition. What the fuck is happening? How the fuck do I move? Fuck! Bitch, you're under arrest. Why does this keep happening? What the fuck is wrong with me? Okay, time out. Alright folks, let me explain. During the entire game I was easily able to maneuver myself using my trusty Logitech controller or the keyboard. All of a sudden I also have to use the mouse, which really surprised me because I only need it in the shooter sections. Now you may ask, but Uncle Sledgehammer, I do not see any hit points. Well, Jimmy, that is because you need to access the menu. Then you enter your character sheet and you check your character's attributes to see how many hit points you have left. So remember how the first thing that happens to you in this game is you almost get French kissed by a demon? Yeah, turns out he was draining your health points. You are basically dead in the water right at the beginning of the game before you even learn how to play this game. What I also did not see coming is, remember how that mecha told me earlier to go home, eat and rehydrate? He meant it. In Omikron, the most important thing for you to do is read as many documents as humanly possible. If you're ready to read a lot of documents in the first hour of the game, then you're gonna have a lot of fun here. Otherwise, I suggest you go and play some more Fortnite instead. By the way, if you fail these little side missions, you get revived by a doctor and you're done. Finished. Finito. You won't get another shot unless you reload the game. This game shows you the consequences of your actions and forces you to deal with your failures. This is the most interesting aspect of the game. You have multiple solutions to each problem. I could A. drug my captain and steal her access key to read classified documents, or B. remote control a mecha to fuck shit up. This multiple choice game mechanic gets cranked up to 11 when you consider that you are actually a soul, the Nomad soul, that can switch between 30 playable characters. That's right, you get to switch bodies at will, which is good because I always wanted to be a slender purple-haired chick. I just wanna feel beautiful. Switching bodies gives you choices. For example, I need information from this dude over here in order to destroy a highly advanced mecha that the government is currently developing. I could either craft a truth spell and use magic to make him talk, or I might switch bodies with this tall beauty over there to seduce him. I could go in guns blazing into the docks to move a crane that I need to move, or I can just be this guy over here and be left to do as I please. Until I do something suspicious. And before I forget it, you probably already know that David Bowie is part of the game. I mean, his face is all over Twitter. And when I say he is part of the game, I mean it is a complete takeover. He's practically everywhere. Right at the beginning of the game, you are forced to listen to him singing for a 5 minutes intro. He plays two different characters, a soul that is trapped in a computer that is leading the rage against the machine, and the lead singer of a band called the Dreamers who hold secret concerts in different bars. By the way, here's a piece of trivia. David Bowie released an entire album worth of music specifically for this game, which is why you may get copy strikes if you play these game segments on YouTube. And when Bowie isn't on screen himself, you get to play with his wife. That's right, Iman Abdelmajid is the babe from earlier, and she is actually one of my two favorite characters in the game. Her character design is really amazing, she is very agile, and I really enjoyed the scenes that she appeared in. And her striking is fucking crisp. She has long lanky limbs for better reach, and her movement is more fluid than any character I've played. The designers must have been a little bit biased here because she is objectively the most fun character to play. Speaking of striking, this is also an interesting aspect of the game. When a fight starts, the game turns into a fighting game that straight up rips off Tekken. And the most fun part is there are like 50 combos you can do. Here, watch me give this fool a 7-hit combo. You can actually find documents teaching you button combinations that you are just dying to try out. The fighting aspect is in my opinion underrepresented a bit. They should have perhaps switched out a couple of 3D shooter segments with more hand-to-hand combat segments. The only annoying aspect about this is that whenever you switch bodies with another character, your fighting skill drops down and you have to retrain your character by doing a fighting simulation in Kale's apartment or by visiting the rebel base later in the game to do some sparring. You will get to meet this guy. I just don't get this guy. He stands here all day getting fucked up. What is his problem?
How you doing, Rob?
Not doing so well. I have like 16 concussions I have to deal with.
Why? What happened?
You know Iman, the supermodel with the big booty that doesn't like wearing any underwear?
What about her?
So she's new to this martial arts thing, and I wanted to give her a hand. So she kicked me 173 times in the face.
Oh, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you do that?
I liked it. So how can I help you? The plot mostly deals with you uncovering the plans of demons who wear the skin of high-ranking officials that are pulling the strings of society. They see you as a threat and want to capture your soul. Wow, saying it like that makes it sound far worse than it is.
This universe is just as real as yours. I know you're playing a video game in another dimension far away from here. But what you experience here is no game. It's reality. Our reality. And you risk your life every second.
So, are you ready to become the Nomad soul?
Something tells me you can help us achieve our goal. An old legend recounts that only a Nomad soul can hunt the demons out of Omikron. You may be the one we have been waiting for.
Well, it's verdict time and I have a lot to say here. First of all, the game is really clunky, and some functions in the game like climbing for example are completely arbitrary. Sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. There is no rhyme and reason here. Also, the game is really buggy and I had to reset the game a couple of times because the game bugged out on me. But it is one of the most fun games I have played in quite some time, and mind you, a couple of months ago I played Eastward, which was an awesome game by itself. But just like in my Urban Chaos review, I can't give the game a too high score because it does come with its fair share of baggage, but I think an 8 out of 10 is quite in order. And I know some of you may disagree with me on my scoring, but guess what? This is my show, my opinion, and I fucking love this game, and I will probably replay this quite often in the future. Quantic Dream was actually planning to make a sequel to this game in the early 2000s. They even prepared an insane amount of concept art. Unfortunately, it got scrapped in favor of Fahrenheit. Then Quantic Dream actually had a concept for a prequel to this game. That got scrapped in favor of Heavy Rain. And judging by the current events, we can consider this project scrapped. As with the current ongoing pandemic, stay healthy, and let's make this game the one good thing to come out of this. We shouldn't allow stupid conspiracy theories to tarnish the good name of this forgotten, shining gem of a game from the past. Anyway, I was Dr. Sledgehammer, and I will see you guys in the next Sledgehammer review. Bye.
You just got back and you're already leaving?